Just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. One, two, three, you put your eyes on me. 5, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 5, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children. One, two, three, you put your eyes on me. 5, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 5, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. just children, children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children.
Welcome along, everybody, here to the SLR Season 7 Tier 4 Portuguese Grand Prix in Portimao. And, well, beautiful, sunny, sun skies. Yeah, I need to get a little bit of a warm-up. You can see the heat haze even on the track. I'm the Biggles. G'day, g'day. And joining me is Gerla for the first time we've ever commentated, and a former driver, stepped out of the cockpit and into the booth.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been a long time since I commentating a race here, but yeah, I'm back and it should be a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I do appreciate you stepping up to help there. You were going to reserve as a driver, but you decided, hey, well, we need somebody in the booth. And I very much appreciate it, of course, because I've got a bit of commentating to do today, as I was mentioning to you, so I need to save my voice. I have 4. This is the first of 4 today. Anyway, not about me, about these gladiators on track, and about max splits going around what appears to be the Samsung corner. I think it was, yes, turn 8. Well, I got some news for you, my friend, and I don't know if we want to spoil the surprise to everybody. And let me show that graphic up on screen right now, and tell me what you think about that. Look, the last one. The very last one is the key in the forecast. Does that not look like thunderstorms for you? That's the forecast for the race start. Thunderstorms.
That looks like fun.
And it looks like it's forecasted to be during the whole race, rain. So, if I was those drivers out there, I'm pretty much sure, and you're an ex-driver, you think, knowing that, you'd probably tweak your car definitely for some sort of wet setup.
Yeah, definitely. I would go down in pressures, and maybe get some more downforce in the car.
All right, there you go. That sounds like right. Just want to make sure the audio levels are okay for everyone out there. Please let us know in the chat. And whilst we get everybody getting on the way for their first laps under their belt, let's go over the championship standings, mate, at the moment, because it's getting spicy. This is the second last round. And there it is. We'll pull it up in the moment there. Ocean Chief leading from Eversnacks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's really close, and there's 2 races to go, so it could go either way, really.
So it looks like Max Splits is going around again.
Let's see if Eversnacks can do something here in Portimao to get the lead back, but I think it's going to be down to the last race.
Yep, it's going to be between those two now. Ocean Chief Snelly they've been working really together. Snelly's, as actually said before, is going to do everything he possibly can to help out the Chief, Eversnacks, and Ed in the McLaren team. Ed needs to step up, I think, if he's in this session today, and help out Eversnacks so he can try and bring it. Now the constructors has already been wrapped up, of course. Alfa Romeo had that one. But it is not impossible for Ferrari to take that one away from McLaren. They're getting pretty close, and there's also Ferrari and Mercedes battling it out the championship. Red Bull. Leslie wasn't here last week. Leslie's been winning a lot of races, started a little bit later in the season, so we'll see. Interesting to see if Mr. Leslie, if he is here today. Couldn't quite see. Let me pull up that one. He is excellent. There he is, down there. In P11. Yeah, it was, and I think it would have been definitely a three-way battle in the constructors, sorry, in the drivers, if Leslie could have turned up last week and probably obviously started the season a little earlier because he's been winning a lot of races.
Yep. And talking about Eversnax, he's the one who did a lap first, and he's already won. He had a 17.3. I believe he's now coming into the pits. But a very good lap from early on from Eversnax.
Yep, 117.7. The first banker in there, and we're on board with Leslie, and he goes up into P2 half a second down. Now, because, mate, that they're probably tweaked their setups a little bit differently, this might be not a representative of their race pace in the qualifying this evening. They might be sacrificing some of this qualifying pace for that race pace, as we're on board with Ocean Chief to set his first time this evening. Goes across the line, and that's that. Just down, 7 tenths down, so lots more to find in the tank of the Alfa Romeo. But we'll go down his teammate. Snelly's been really good during qualifying, mate. Just set of the purple, sector 1 right there, 22 flat almost. So looking good for the Alfa Romeo driver. What do you find about this track? Relatively new, obviously, to the Formula 1 calendar in the game.
Well, it's it has some very technical sections, particularly turn 9, which is a very hard corner to do with a lot of speed without spinning. And yeah, it has basically everything: low speed corners, high speed corners. It has a long straight as well, so I think it's a very complete track.
You go to the elevation change, you can see there as he goes across the line right now. This will be the quickest time. What will it be? There he is, 43 thousandths of a second, just a little bit quicker than Eversnax. So that will certainly, no doubt, help his teammate out, but I'm expecting a little bit more in the bag there from the Chief. Still some of the other drivers are on outlaps right now. Let's have a look at Matt Jarvis, a new reserve, I believe, here this evening. I remember seeing Matty. He's got Moisty out there, Dunbar, Macy, not Moisty. If I'm pronouncing that one correctly, my apologies. He said, go on, Matt. Well, we're on board with Matt right now, so let's have a look. Can you give us a hot lap around here, please, Gerla?
Yeah, so coming into turn 1 is a very quick corner, very easy to invalidate on the outside. And now turn 3, I believe, very slow corner, the opposites. And you have to switch directions very quick into that left-hander. He could have gone a little bit wider to use all the track, but I think it's fine. Now braking a little bit after the 100 brake marker boards, and also very slow corner. Traction is very important there. Now coming into sector 2, this is going into turn 9. It's the hardest track in my opinion on the track, but it does it very well. Now the elevation changes are huge. You got this double right corner, which feels so good when you nail perfectly, which he hasn't. He's gone off a little bit, but still not invalidated. Now the left corner entering sector 3, and now it's just after this one there's just a flat out right corner which leads to the huge straight, and you just gotta go as close as possible to the line to make as much time as you can. And Matt is gonna do a 117.9, which is not bad for a bunker lap.
Half a second down. That's not bad exactly. Tipsy Bod sitting in the pits there. Let's have a look at Boosted right now. The Alfa Romeo. Hey, I want to show you that. I pointed out last week. Have a look at that front wing on the external camera and tell me that thing's not way more raised higher than it is in the other cars. It's basically like the 2022 cars at the moment that are undergoing the testing today, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And if I've noticed that they've all got the front wing quite high. Is that because of the regulations, new regulations of this dirty air scenario? I don't know.
Yeah, I believe they are trying to decrease the dirty air and made all those changes to have closer racing.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen too much, but we'll find out. Teams always find a way of deliberately making sure that they get those cars to go quicker than their opponents. That's why they designed it like that. As Booster sets the first time in there, but it's not the quickest so far. There's 2 and 8 change down the road, but Eversnax is solid. Purple 1, purple 2. Let's have a look. He's going to improve on the time. Bang. 2/10, exactly quicker than Snelly Henke. So Eversnax is back on top of the timesheets once again. About Leslie, can he come back and do anything about this? We've still got 8 minutes and change to go of the qualifying session. Rough lap there from Matty. Thank you. Welcome along, mate. Are you reserving today? No, Matt's in the chat. A little bit of pressure because we were on board with you, Matt. So you had a bit of stage fright, perhaps. You probably did, if you're aware. Anyway, good on you. Fastest third middle sector there. As you can see, the purple comes up there for Leslie. So this is looking good.
I was not expecting that. He went a bit wide into a couple of corners there, but still managed to do purple. So, yep, he goes right close to the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very, very good lap from Leslie.
17.073, so we may getting into the 16 territories. It's your first race. Well, welcome along. Good to see you here. And just a question for you, Matt. Did Jeff tell you that it's going to be downpouring rain during the race? Because there's that weather forecast going to show up on the screen right now. And that is the bottom one. During the qualifying, it's all dry. I mean, you get a little overcast there that you can see just towards the end of the qualifying. That's the middle forecast, but the very last one is the race forecast, which I need to change that graphic as well to say race. But anyway, it has to kind of serve two purposes. But it also has to do qualifying session. Most people are on cooldown laps now, mate, as they're just getting ready to get back in there. You didn't hear anything from Jeff? Well, yeah, that's what my forecast is showing, the telemetry. So I hope you have maybe tweaked your car for a wet weather race, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You can't change it now, but you can change your pressures and wing, right? What can you change?
Yeah, you can change the front wing and the tire pressures, and also the off throttle differential. I think it's either the off throttle or the on throttle. I don't know. It's one of them you can change.
Max Splits has a spin. There's another car right there next to him. That's a McLaren. I'm not sure if that was Ed.
Edward. Yeah,
yeah,
Ed
it was.
Has been disqualified. He was disqualified actually for driving the wrong way.
Yeah, blocking by driving the wrong way. So he was, as you could see it, because we were on Max Splits now. Whoa, wow! And that's because the AI car was like almost took that Alfa Romeo out. And he's not driving the car right now. That's the AI. He's already been disqualified. That's a bit dangerous. Max Splits had a spin, maybe because he was there up the road. G'day, Kitty.
And
she's out to go Chiefy.
Snelle Henke just did a purple sector too. He was 800s down on his previous time, and he's now about to cross the line.
Yeah, it's not a purple, but sorry, Matt. And the graphic up there is a green.
Oh.
That's a spectator thing. And there it is. It's 2/10 off the pace at the moment.
Yeah, he improved, but just by a little bit, not enough to go ahead of Eversnax.
Here's Wesley. So he's done a 22.1 first sector. That's not bad. The quickest is a 21.9. So he's just 1/10 off that first sector. You'll see that up in the graphic anyway. He's setting personal best.
Shaka is turn 3. I think there were yellow flags for Shaka, and he's actually out, so he must have crashed in turn 3.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Retired terminally damaged is the message I'm getting on my screen. So 2 down. Wesley across the line. Goes up just to P4, improves. Kitty supporting the mate there, Tipsy Bob, of course. Northern Irish crew. Tipsy Bob, you know, that's going to try to help out his buddy as well, like he did in a couple of races ago, where he let him get past on the last lap, I believe it was, to help him out secure more points there to that battle that he's having with the German driver of Eversnacks, who's currently out on outlap, and he's going to try to steal this one away from Leslie. Leslie's going to be the spanner in the mix on this one too, because Leslie's very capable of winning races. Wasn't here last week, and now he's back, so he's the one that's third in the championship. And I think 2 race wins, and you would have to have Eversnacks not get any points, I think, I think probably too far away on that one anyway.
Yeah.
To maybe get that one. But anyway, he's going to secure that third in the championship. He can obviously be very much a decider here, as Bob is retired as well. I haven't seen any messages about his car being terminally damaged or missed a ball. There's a spin from Eversnacks as he was starting his outlap.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on his outlap. He's alright. This is on Sagres. Yeah. So he's got to get that. Has he got enough time to get that car up to temperature and get it on?
Yeah, let's hope he didn't damage the tires. Well, Ocean Chief is already on a lap. He's going through turn 3 right now.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on both of those times. At the moment, as we're on board with Eversnack starting his lap, Ocean Chief has just started his. Ocean Chief, okay, we'll keep an eye out. 22.4 first sector for Ocean Chief. Let's have a look at Eversnack's response here.
21.8.
Yeah, that's a purple. So Eversnacks is responding currently at the moment. That's looking good. Let's try to steal this one away from Leslie, but Leslie's now on his outlap. I'd say this pretty much may very well be the last laps that these gentlemen will be doing this evening. Although, rain start, you could do 2 laps. It's just that battery is going to be a problem, isn't it, mate? Saving the battery to do 2 laps. It's a tough one. Purple sector 2. So that's 3/10 currently at the moment, quicker than Leslie's time. So this is going to be a good lap. And he has this Sagres corner. And of course the 15 corner coming up, which is called the Gulp. Going to gulp your way around this one. One big sweeping long corner. Can catch people off if you go a little bit too wide and hit that paint. But there it is. 2/10. Right on the money. He's in the 16s. First man in the 16s this evening.
Yep, and I was on board with Leslie, and he's not improving, at least in sector 1. Ooh, and he just spins at turn 9, Leslie does.
Ocean Chief got his first sector in there now. So he's got no battery left. Chief is in trouble. 8%. Do that, 13. How's that going to affect his hot lap here, mate?
Yeah, I think he's going to lose a lot of time by having no battery. So
yeah, he's already second. Look at that.
Schnelli's-
He's already a second down, really.
Schnelli is also off the track in turn 1. There's also
He might
the
be,
retired car of Matt there, so I don't know if
he might be
that's what
retiring
happens.
in the pits. So yeah, you're right. There's an AlphaTauri off into turn 2. Let's have a look. Chief should have maybe improve a little bit. There it is, P5, and that's just right. I knew he was about a second down. Because that battery's on 0. And he can't go for another. He could go for another lap, but he's got no battery left. I wouldn't worry about the tyres being punished because you won't be starting on them for the race. The race is going all wet.
Yep. And I believe no one else is gonna improve. Max Pills has invalidated, and Eversnack is coming into the pits, so I think that's our qualifying done.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't show the tyres for you guys out there this evening because they're all on soft tyres, because they all realise that they must realise obviously that it's a wet weather race, so there's no point going out there and trying to set your fastest qualifying time on mediums when you're not going to need them.
Well, I've just seen Leslie, I believe he's on a lap, but he has low battery and he has used tires, so let's see if he can improve on these tires.
No.
Ooh, there's a car. Oh,
Oh, he did get he did get a middle sector. Purple middle sector. Now that's interesting. He's going to have to pull a lot out of the bank here. Because his first sector was not very good. I don't think it's enough to improve. No. Well, 87 thousandths of sector, so he goes certainly quick in that third. But the first sector cost him too much time. Is that where you said he went a little wide?
Yeah, it's just about. So it's a pole position for Eversnacks. And Ocean Chief is down in P5, so it's a perfect scenario for him.
Yeah, a bit of a buffer zone, isn't it, Leslie? But Snelly's there. He could try to do something about it. Wesley's at P4. Maddie, for your first race here. Good job there, P6. Max Splits had a lot of spins, I saw, during the qualifying. Yeah. So he's struggling with the setup of that car. That may very well be the reason why, because he's on that more of a wet setup. And therefore the car's not cooperating with him in the dry conditions. However, he could be super quick in the wet weather. And being a smaller grid of 11 drivers, where you don't have as much work to do to get your way through the field. And I don't know, mate, what do you think? Wet conditions? Do you think we're going to be looking at safety cars here this evening? Tippy towing? Some DNFs?
I think the chance of a safety car with only 11 cars is reduced, but nonetheless, there's still. I think the rain is going to be heavy, so I think it's going to be very hard for the drivers to keep it on track.
So Snacksy got the pole position there, stole it away from Leslie, just by 88 thousandths of a second. Then further down the road, which is a lot actually, yeah, Snelly, Hanky, Wesley, Ocean Chief, Matt, Max Splits, Boosted, Tipsy Bob, Shakalaka, and Ed. Now those times are massively different between there, but like as we said, I believe that some of these drivers have really tweaked their cars for a wet weather race, which we're going to be seeing in a minute. So that's usually the reason why you see that huge difference between the drivers' pace as well. And this will be fun for some of those drivers. With the likes of Kit's man out there, g'day Kit, of Mr. Tipsy Bob, because Tipsy Bob does not use a racing line, and that'll be or any assists, so that'll be really interesting. It's full wet, because you can see when there's puddles in the game, it's full wet for sure. You can see in the garage there, they've even got the full wet tires ready.
Yeah.
I think anybody would be crazy. But what's going to be interesting is that once we load into the game, it's going to look like it's going to start getting a little less heavier towards the end of the race. Maybe even get to a dry conditions, I'm not sure. That's the beauty of the dynamic weather in this game. It changes every 5 minutes. You get an update, and the percentages will increase or decrease based on how it feels underway for a formation lap. And that weather will actually eventually load in a second, and I'll pull it up for you. There it is. So, thunderstorms and thunderstorms for at least 35 minutes. 30 or so minutes, yeah. 30 to 40 minutes of conditions like this. And then it'll ease up. So that one thing I think, expect towards the end of the race. But then again, the weather report's showing that it'll ease up for a little bit. Anyway, who knows? We're only speculating.
I think it's... I think it's gonna make a huge difference if the drivers practiced in these conditions or not. Usually when you're practicing for a race, you don't always remember to practice in the wet, but it can always happen. So I think it's really, we are going to tell who's practiced or who didn't in these conditions, because it really makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, the Portugal coast, it tends to rain, just like you get that rain kind of like the same you do in Netherlands as well. In Zandvoort, because you're generally on the coast, you would get more rain. To tend to be the situation.
Yeah, it actually... we are actually going through a time where it hasn't rained for a long time here.
Where's here that you're referring to, by the way?
I'm from Portugal, so...
Oh yeah, this is your home. I didn't realize that. My apologies. Yeah, cool. So have you been to Portimao before?
I have, but I haven't been to the track.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's ironic that it's raining so much in the game, and we haven't had rain for a really long time here.
Wow.
In real life.
Yeah, I get this rain usually 3/4 of the year here in Panama. At the moment, as I said, it's a little dry. But I get a bucketing down rainstorm every afternoon. By about now, you'd usually hear it too in the background of the microphone. That's how loud it is. But at the moment, these drivers are going to have to hear it slapping their cars at 300 kilometers per hour. If they reach it, Top speed, I think, was 274. Actually, that was probably 274 just during the warm-up lap. We'll find out in a minute. Guess what, mate? Well, you get to call the race start. That's just the rule of thumb when you commentate with me. So just, you'll be okay. Give it a shot.
Okay, so we're about to start on board with Eversnack's 5 lights. And the lights are out and away we go. Eversnack gets a good start. Leslie alongside him, he's already clear of him. Going into turn 1, it's going to be a really tricky corner. They're going side by side. Leslie breaks way later. And he doesn't go wide. Leslie is into P1 right now. Eversnack is struggling a little bit. Wesley is alongside him. No. And going into turn 3, Wesley is ahead. Actually, Eversnack's almost, he actually spins. Eversnack is facing the other way around. And he's now dropped to last. Or almost last.
Almost, yeah. Because Tipsy Bob and Snelly Hankey. Snelly Hankey also made an error at the start there because it's gingerly conditions. You can see they've tried to put the foot down. I knew Timsy Bops would have a bit of problems there without the assist. And here we go. Max Splits and Ocean Chief side by side.
Yeah, Max splits with a big dive on Ocean Chief there.
What a start. But lucky, I think, Eversnacks, even though he's plumped last, I think he's okay. I'm not sure if he got any damage, but he kind of did that Sebastian Vettel when you're facing the wrong way, isn't it, during one of the races? I think it was in Brazil. But he lives to see another day, which is crucial in this championship, of course. He's got to finish the race. Well, there it is.
There's a big gap now from Ocean Chief to Wesley in P2.
There is, yeah, but we won't have to worry about the DRS, of course, this evening. But there it is. Leslie got that one done off the start. You can see the gainers, so everybody essentially is gained, apart from Matt stayed the same, and of course Snelly, Tipsy, and Eversnacks has lost the most amount this evening because it's just the conditions are just horrendous. We're going to have to Ed at the moment. He's putting, looks like he put a little bit of pressure. Actually, it's Maddie. My apologies. There it is. Aston, well, the Alpha Tauri side by side next to Boosted. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact. Luckily, nobody went around. No DRS is enabled. Of course, in these conditions, they probably shouldn't even be driving the Formula 1 cars in the real world, but in the virtual world, they can. And that's turning into a three-way because Shaq is there.
Goes wide, and I think Mari went into the back of Boosted, and I think he actually has damage. Yeah, he has got damage on the front wing, Matt does. So that's going to allow Shaka to now go round the outside of him.
He's not going to make it easy. He's going to run wide there, and Ed's going to sneak through as well. Did Ed? Ed got it. Ed got past Shaka.
Yeah, Ed with a double overtake now.
That's slow and steady wins the race, they say. Just biding his time for patience. That's going to help out Eversnacks. He needs to be working together with his teammate here today. He needs to help out any way he can possibly to make sure his teammate gets something about this. And I think at the moment there is a battle there. Matty's dropping, of course, because Snell Hankey's just got past him because he's got that damage. You're going to need as much downforce as you possibly can in these horrendous conditions. So expect to see him boxing.
Ooh, now Boosted going around the outside of Edwards to claim that P5 again. Or Boosted. Oh, I'm
yeah, you're right, I think. Yeah, you're right. Was it? No, I think
I might have made some confusion with the Aston Martins, but Ed is fighting Boosted now, who didn't manage to go full throttle.
Oh wow! Whoa!
Yes, he is.
A last-minute pit stop there for Boosted. It looked like it was very difficult for him to go on the pit lane because there was cars coming around. He's on the left-hand side and he has to cut across. So he was trying to avoid, I think, because there was a car coming behind him as well. So he's got a front wing change. So both of these drivers will have a front wing change. Matt is just behind him in the pit lane, getting a front wing. Not serving any penalties. Booster should come out ahead. I can't change the camera, unfortunately, when I'm in the pit lane.
Shaka going side by side with Schnelly. Schnelly manages to keep P6. But I think with a warning, because he did go off track.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some of those warnings. We'll see. Well, obviously, we'll get penalties. Lap 3 at 33. Not just yet, Bob.
So 3 cars already pitted. That's Boosted, Matt and Eversnacks. They're fighting at the back, the 3 of them.
Just turning up the game a little bit. Oh, that's Ed completely off into the fence. And out. Is he out? No.
Ooh, no, he's not out, but he's got big damage and there's a virtual safety car.
Got no front wing. I just caught the end of that. I'll show you the replay up in a second because we'll go to that virtual. Yeah, let me show it because the intervals are pretty gap. Although, hang on, Eversnacks is getting pretty close there on the back of Maddie. So we'll go back to that replay in a second.
Well, it's virtual safety car for now, so he won't be allowed to overtake.
All right, let's have a look at the replay then. As we were on board with Snelly Hankey, and keep an eye out there in the McLaren. They just loses it, I think, coming out of the corner as I was setting the audio. There it is. Just a little bit, loses it straight into the fence, but lives to see another day, thankfully. And he needed to be helping out his tip mate. He's in the pit lane right now, so he's going to lose some of these places. And look at that! As soon as the virtual safety car has come off, it's caught Eversnacks. It's actually caught, it looked like Maddie sleeping here.
No, I think that's boosted mess with big damage. I don't know where he got the damage, but he has no front wing boosted. So that's why he was so slow.
And he just came into the pit lane and got that one replaced. So yeah, he's going to get another one down there. As Ed's sitting in the pits there getting his replaced. And his teammate now is going to go past him. There's Ed coming out of the pit lane, and there is Eversnacks there putting pressure there on Maddie. He needs to get this done as well too, because Ocean Chief, currently running P3, is not a place that he wants to be. Eversnacks, we have seen this man come back from last place and win before. So anything is possible, certainly in these conditions. And in the chat there, Von saying, nice to see that there might be a bit of action of 11 drivers. Of course there is. Portimao is definitely challenging when it's dry, let alone the rain. I think that so far they're doing pretty good. We're seeing the usual spins and taps and stuff like that, but not any DNFs, touch wood. And that was a big accident from Ed, and somehow he lived to see another day.
Ooh, big slide from Eversnacks now. Is struggling a bit to get past Matt. He needed to do it as quick as he can.
Yeah, because they're 25. Matt's 25 down the road there from Tipsy Bob. And overall, Eversnacks currently is 46 seconds away from Leslie.
Boosted Mess actually went on inters. Is it because he doesn't have any wets?
That's a good question. No, I mean, he might be taking a gamble, but then again, I'll show you that weather forecast because it's still, look at that, it's still heavy rain. But in this game, sometimes those inters can really handle some of these conditions. I mean, you still see the puddles. It's very difficult. We'll find out, obviously, in a second. If you start seeing that timing board lighting up with purples, then you know for a fact that it's a crossover point. Sure, the other drivers will be, their engineers and so forth will be monitoring that information, ready to send it to their drivers, their Jefferies in the pits. Be keeping a close eye on Boosted's times.
Yeah, for now, I think he's still losing time.
Eversnacks just can't find a way around Maddie at the moment. His teammate's actually catching him now, Ed. So they're going pretty slow here.
Yeah, it's very difficult to overtake in these conditions as there's no...
Oh, there's Maddie going around.
Yep.
So I think that'll be a little bit of a smile there to Eversnacks, because now he can get done with. Maddie's going around, but Maddie still lives to see another day. Let's go to Boosted. Actually, I might not go to Boosted just yet, as Tipsy Bob's getting pretty close in the back there of Shaka. This is going to be very, very difficult for the old Tipsy Bob because he's not used, once again, he doesn't use the race line, doesn't use any assists. And he's got to spot his braking points in these conditions where, you know, it's wet. So you brake a lot earlier, obviously, don't you? You have to.
I'm pretty sure Ocean Ship doesn't run any assists also. So.
Okay. So good on him. Hats off. It's tricky enough in the dry, let alone have to try this one in the wet. Alright, so I don't think Tipsy Bob's doing anything just yet. We'll have to... I know what's going to happen. I switch the camera away and then all of a sudden something happens. I'm keeping an eye on Boosted's times anyway. And I tell you what, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. No purples, but let's say the fastest... Ocean Chief just did a 26.3 first sector. 26.399, what Boosted just said on the inters. So this could very much get close to that inter territory. And here's an opportunity for Tipsy Bob and Shaka. Look at the different racing lines they're taking into turn 12 and 13 right here. These sections are tricky.
A bit wide, and Tipsy tried the switchback but didn't have enough grip.
This is where you see the overtakes, isn't it? Usually coming off Sagres, not here, and then the Galp. Yeah, look at that. Exit speed.
Yeah.
1 on 1. That's good. You're going to go side by side through here. Through Galp, that's going to be a little bit risky because the rear end's going to go out. He saves it. He keeps it. Once he got a good exit, overtaking down the main straight. We've seen that a few times this evening. I think he may be able to get him here. If Tipsy Bob can be last to the late breakers.
Ooh, you really don't want to go side by side into turn 1. It's very tricky corner. And Tipsy Bob just yields.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob also a reserve driver in here. Probably doesn't want to be... He wants to be fighting, of course, with these drivers, but also don't want to be destroying, you know, the drivers like Shaka that have been racing all season long. Tipsy Bob is a higher tier driver. But
There's Chief now on Inters, so...
Yeah, Chiefy's boxed. So he's struggling
He's
a little bit.
ahead of Eversnax.
A lock-up. That's because, yeah, boosted times are pretty good. So that's a pretty good call there for the Scotsman of boosted. And now that he is the Northern Irishman of Ocean Chief, will keep an eye on his times. This is back now, but let's see if he starts really catching Tipsy Bob and Shaka. And when are these other drivers going to react to this as well, too, of Leslie and Wesley? Leslie, here you go. Leslie just goes fastest lap, so I'm not quite sure he's wanting to necessarily switch over to those inters yet. If he can still pull those times. Here's a 2-second gap, so Wesley's still keeping him pretty honest. He's not running up the road. Max has been nice, quiet but comfortable E3. Oh, Tipsy Bob's really close now.
Good.
Here we go. Tipsy Bob from the outside now, but that's because Shaka's got a box. So there it is. Shaka's going, inters for me, please, boys. Inters with a side of fries. And a medium Pepsi or Coke. There it is. Straight on to the inters. Yeah, do you know why? Because Eversnax, sorry, just set the fastest middle sector. So what is going on? These teams have tweaked their cars differently out there, guys, I think, because of the fact that some of them are now setting purples when they're on the wet tires. We're seeing drivers setting quick times on the inters. What is going on? Hello, Lof. How are you doing this evening? Welcome to a wet Portimao. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Portimao? You are Portuguese.
Well, we say Portimão, but you don't.
Oh, I want to say it the correct way that you guys say it. So
Portimão.
Portimao, like that.
Yeah, that's closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I could do a little Spanish. My Portuguese isn't very good. I need you here for Interlagos for pronouncing all those corner names correctly. The actual in the actual Portuguese, not the translations of them. All right.
If you tell me when, I can say it, but I don't know. I don't actually know the corner names.
I haven't got them up. Well, I know that corner names like, you know, Reto Apolso. That's like opposite sun, right?
What is it? Sorry.
Reto Apolso, something like that.
Oh, I think you mean reta oposta.
That's it. See, I can't do it right. Does that mean opposite sun? What's happened to Leslie? Leslie's gone off. Yes, Leslie's made a critical mistake. I'm not quite sure if he has no damage. No damage. Yeah. So he's lives to see another day. But wow, he's after leading this race, he's now switched that one over to. He's pushed it too far, don't you think? He's starting sets for flying laps, and all of a sudden.
Ooh, Shaka also had I think Shaka had a spin into the last corner, but no damage as well, I believe.
Just not happy with those inters 100% just yet after I put some new ones on there. But I'll tell you what, green stripe tires look good on a green car. That's for sure. Interesting. So, and we don't know what obviously it's going on here because it's all over the place. Drivers, it doesn't, sometimes you're in P1 or now all of a sudden you're in P5. Tipsy Bob, remembers, now up into P5. He was in the back of the field there before after making a pit stop. Snelly's in that P2. Max Splits and Wesley, they've been comfortable, but at some point, let's go to Wesley, mate, and tell me how it's feeling on board for him, these conditions.
Well, he's one of the ones on wet, and so far he seems to be really liking these conditions.
Looks okay, you think? It doesn't look too bad. I don't see any massive front lockups or anything.
It seems
Oh,
like
there it
he's
is.
pushed
He
a
just
lot
did
on.
one.
Yeah, it seems like he has pushed a lot on his ERS, maybe to get away from max builds.
Well, let's go
Or-
down to Matt, who's just come out of the box there on some fresh boots. Now, he just set the fastest first sector. Now, have a look at the difference of driving between Matty on fresh inters and Wesley on the original wets he started the race on. It does look like Matty looks like a lot more comfortable control that car, right?
Yeah, it does.
No
And that's
lockup.
a penalty for Eversnax. That's the second penalty of the day. But yeah, I think the Inters might be a little bit better now.
They're
than the
not.
wets.
They're not using that. Well, now I was about to say using the ERS as much. Only down the straights and stuff like that, as you meant. There it is, a 130. So we were on board with Matty.
Yep.
So it goes to show you right now that these are the crossover points. So let's put comparison to that. Wesley leading the race. His last lap, a 132.7. A 132.8. So 2 seconds a lap at the moment. And they're both boxing. So Leslie and Snelly are going into pit lane to get these inters on because, yeah, Eversnax has set the fastest middle sector. Well, Eversnax set the fastest middle sector on the wets. So we still don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I think it's still raining a lot, but as the drivers drive on the track, it forms a drier line. In which I think if you follow that line, it's drier than the rest of the track, and therefore it's better for inters.
And he's
But
boxing.
yeah, it's still raining a lot, so. But
That's
it
it,
seems
yeah.
like everyone's boxing now.
Weather forecast. Once again, I'll show you that, guys. It's still saying that heavy rain, but yeah, I do say in 30 minutes time, it's not showing you that far for the prediction, but it is saying it's going to lighten up in 30 minutes. So, but at the moment, the drivers feel that it is eased up enough, but then to switch over to the inters. Once again, the inters in this game much more durable, aren't they? Like they can really handle a lot of water on the track.
Yeah, I think you can do a. If you go inters, I believe you can do a one stop on these tires, so they really go on for a lot of time.
Both the
A lot of
McLaren's
laps.
boxed, so his teammate also came in and out and got rid of those tyres. But he's got a bit of pressure.
That's Matt spinning just ahead of Edward and boosted.
Yeah, there is just to the left, you're right. I think. Yeah, it was. So Matty pushing it. I mean, he just set the fastest lap before. I think he's just pushed a little bit too much now. Gonna have to recover from that one in his debut race. That's hey, still in it at the moment. Boosted after Ed came out. The pit lane is now on the back of Ed. The top three are still on those wet tyres. Everstack's now set the fastest middle sector.
I was looking at Ocean Shift's times, and he's not really gaining any time on Tipsy. It's staying about the same, I think, so. But the wets are starting to get a bit old, so they might start to lose a bit of grip by now.
And now Matt's recovered from that spin. He's caught back up to Boosted. So we've got a three-way battle at the moment there. Ed, Boosted, and Matty. That's for your P9, 10, and 11. Snelly's just set the fastest first sector up the road after he's putting those new tyres on. So keep an eye out for him catching Leslie. That's not going to be easy pickings. So provisionally at the moment, well, there is no provisional lead in the race because you can take those tyres to the end. There is no mandatory pit stop. But although it is starting to dry out more and more, I would imagine Wesley, Max, and Tipsy Bob will have to pit at some point, and that will put the Chief. I'm not quite sure if the Chief will be in. No, he won't be in the lead of this race because it is a 21-second pit stop. And to give you guys an idea, sorry, my apologies, it's a 26-second pit stop. I need to update the telemetry.
Ocean Shift just went fastest. And now Leslie with a 30.0. Now Schnelli with a 29.9.
Yeah, now they got the fresh boots on. They're loving it. They're absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I think the rain has calmed down a little bit now, and it's definitely Inter's conditions. So
We have a spinner, I think we do. And it looks like Matty's gone. And he's back at it again. He's going to have max splits, I think, or something like that for company soon. Probably being a lap down. Yes, he is a lap down and be lapped. This battle still resuming here between Boosted and Ed. But what I wanted to show you guys is the gap to leader. There it is. So that's the crucial one at the moment, where Ocean Chief is. He's on the critical. Now, the pit stop around here, you get it right? 25 to 26 seconds. Look exactly where Ocean Chief is from the leader, 24.6. So he could cover this if Wesley boxes.
Eversnax might have a go on Shaka soon as Wesley pits, yep.
Yep. So Wesley box. Will Max follow him in?
He does, yeah.
I think, will Tipsy Bob also follow them in? Will be the key. Where's Tipsy? No, Tipsy stays out. So here we go. Ocean Chief, where is he? He's right here, down the main straight. Now Wesley's in the pits. Look at that map icon. Wesley's exiting the pits right now. And where is he? There. Bang, out of the pit lane. So Ocean Chief is in essentially the lead of this race for now. That is obviously if Tipsy Bob does box. And he's going to be catching Tipsy Bob anytime soon anyway. Look at that. You can see Tipsy Bob, and Tipsy Bob obviously being his buddy, his mate. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to put up too much of a fight there because he wants Ocean Chief to win the championship.
Ooh, and Matt spins again.
Matty's just struggling this car right now. Doesn't like the Inters. He did set the fastest lap on the Inters, but that was then replaced recently by Snelly, who's going even quicker. I think Snelly might be stealing that fastest lap away from Eversnax, which is going to help them, of course, because they don't want Eversnax to get any more points in this championship. And here we go. Is Tipsy Bob going to let Ocean Chief through? We don't know. No, they might be in the chat. There it is. That's a lift and wave right there. To allow Ocean Chief into the lead of this race and perhaps into, well, securing a championship. I'd have to do some calculations of the points. Maybe you can help me out with that one. If the race was to finish right now, would that be a championship wrapped up or not?
I don't remember exactly how the point stands, and Wesley just goes round the other side of Tipsy. Very good move as Tipsy bucks.
Tipsy finally comes in. 13 laps. Tyres are fine.
Ocean Chief was 18 points ahead of Eversnax.
So you do your math on that. 25 points for a race win. And how many points do you get for P7?
So for P7 you get 6 points.
So I think that would be enough, wouldn't it? You can crunch the numbers for me there. Might very much be enough. But then again, hey, we still have half a race to go, so certainly wouldn't count out Eversnax just yet from gaining a few more points there. Yeah, if you can actually crunch those numbers for us, just, I guess, scribble down on a piece of paper or something like that there, girl up, and we'll try to...
I think as it stands now, I believe Ocean Chief wins the championship.
All right, but okay, so what does Eversnax need currently at the moment? How high up does he have to get here to still have a fighting chance for this championship?
Oh, that's a bit more maths. Let me try and...
Well, just, you know, so you can crunch that. I'm just going to grab a drink real quick because not a lot of action happening on the track. Well, there is actually. I'll keep an eye on well, I'll keep the camera on Wesley.
So I believe, if Ocean Chief wins, in order to keep the fight alive for the next race, Eversnax has to come second. If he doesn't, then I believe Ocean Chief wins. And even if Ocean Chief wins and Eversnax is second, the gap difference will be 25 points. So in the next race, Eversnax has to win and get the fastest lap in order to win the championship.
All right, sorry, I just came back. So could you repeat that again? What What position does Eversnacks need to still have hope?
So I might be wrong, but if I remember correctly, at the beginning when you showed the standings, Ocean Chief was 18 points ahead.
Yeah.
So if that's right, in order to keep the championship alive, Eversnacks has to come second right now.
Oh, wow.
If it doesn't, Ocean Chief wins the championship.
That's a tall order, considering he's currently running in P7, but he is gaining a little bit there on Tipsy Bob. He's also nursing a 3-second penalty. And, well, he won't be the only one. Wesley's got one as well. Slapped next to his name as he's pushing like crazy to try catch Ocean Chief. Not here. Not yet. Snelly going quicker and quicker, of course. He's Dutch, isn't he? I mean, he's used to these conditions as well. Eversnacks is responding. He could be very much quickest next lap. Well, on this lap, it'll come up in a second, but I'm still keeping an eye on Wesley and Ocean Chief because that's the closest battle, as you can see on track there. There is a car in the background, but that is Leslie, who's starting to catch that pack, actually. Leslie was a couple of seconds to change down the road. Now, this is turning into a three-way battle at the front. And I'd imagine we might not see any more pit stops this evening because these inters can definitely go to the end. I'll show you the weather forecast at the moment. There's still some rain, lighter rain, of course, than the heavier rain that we had for at least another 30 minutes. Who knows? It could start drying up right at the end. I did say there's a possibility it could be just enough dry. That would be actually fantastic, wouldn't it, mate? That'd spice things up. If they,
yeah, that would definitely.
Somebody takes a gamble to go to dries towards the end, and if it pays off, they can go zooming past everybody. They could do that. Is that Glock scenario, wasn't it? That case back in Brazil in 2008, I think, when Lewis won his first championship there. There's just the tyre differences can be massive when Leslie goes quickest. They are definitely all improving speed at the moment because look at that. Wesley's caught this battle. Let's go on board with Wesley and keep an eye up the road there. Of Leslie, sorry. There's a Leslie out of Wesley. That's the confusing part.
Yeah, so I've just confirmed my maths, and yeah, if Ocean Chief wins, Eversnacks has to be second to keep the fight alive.
All right,
then. The last round.
That's a lot of work for the German to do, but if anybody can do it, that man can do it. Eversnacks has done amazing amount of work before to Drive to Survive. He is your Netflix.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, Drive to Survive, guys, next month on my birthday. It's being released. That's my birthday present from
When is it?
March the 11th.
Oh.
That's when the new Drive to Survive series is coming out on Netflix. So make sure you tune into that one. I will be watching that, no doubt. Well, I'll be eating some ice cream cake.
It's definitely gonna be interesting.
Boosted here at the moment, putting pressure. So 2 battles on. That's Ed just up the road there from the Scotsman. Somebody was saying in the chat there about is he going to do a 5-stop strategy, pit stop. The infamous 5-stopper apparently from Zombie Kebab there said Boosted must be the man that does those 5 stoppers. Currently at the moment he's at 2, so he's got 2 out of 5. Some of those drivers picking up more penalties. That's unfortunately Maddie. Maddie was doing so good at the start of the race and just it's come crumbling apart a little bit towards the end of it. We are still almost lap 20, 13 or so to go. Danny Coe, g'day. He's also going go Chief, go Chief, go Chief. Danny Coe that drives in the Tier 1. Daddy, oh yeah, you'll be driving on the weekend. That's right. So I got, that's another one that I have to do 2 back-to-backs. Races.
Eversnacks with the fastest lap. He's really pushing now.
Yeah, 8 seconds, but he's not making a great gain because of DRS. And look at this at the moment, Leslie on the back of Wesley. And no, it's so hard to overtake around here, guys. You know that. Danny knows it. Everybody knows it. Zombie Kebab knows it. Larson out there, g'day. Making it. You guys all know. No DRS assistant, of course, because of these conditions. And drivers are also playing it cautious. Ocean Chief needs to be very cautious, of course, because he can't afford to throw away this perhaps championship currently at the moment. The driver's trophy is in his lap, but that can be definitely out of the car right now and maybe still sitting on the shelf in the pit lane waiting for somebody to collect it. If he makes a mistake, all he has to do is bring it home right now. Wesley's going to try to bring it to him. Wesley wants to get a race win, of course, under his belt. I don't think Ocean Chief's going to fight for it too much. There it is. He has let him through. There's the overtake done. And now let's see if Leslie, who's back again, Leslie wants to... He wants to win, and he can't win the championship, of course, because he started a little bit too late in the season, but he's been winning a lot of races, and no doubt if he was to start this champion, if we'd start a new championship off, then Ocean Chief would definitely have Leslie battling it out for him, and Eversnacks. So I say, if Chief comes second, maybe it's still on, you're right. He is currently second. Now, yeah.
Second, and Eversnacks finishes 7th, Ocean Chief still wins. But if Chief comes third and
yeah.
Eversnacks 7,
right.
the fight is still on.
Now, this is what didn't I not tell you this at the top of the show? I said that Leslie could very much be a spanner in the mix in this championship today. And it's panning out to be, isn't it? Because if he can force Chief into P3, then again, Snelly's now caught this party. So this could play very well. We know that the Alfa Romeo teams work brilliantly. Chief and Snelly have been doing that all season long. They've been working together. And I think at the moment, this is what probably they're going to be debating down there, to let Snelly Hankey get past Leslie and then be a buffer to Ocean Chief. Because, of course, they can do a switcheroo later on if they want. You know, that Snelly is going to allow Ocean Chief to get the maximum amount of points here this evening. So I think this is crucial for Leslie to get past Ocean Chief as quickly as possible. Otherwise, yeah, if Snelly gets past him, then it's those Alfa Romeos become a road blocking tool. It's already hard to overtake, and they manage it so well. Spice things up.
Sorry, I was just confirming, and I think even if Chief finished third, Eversnacks has to finish higher in order to...
Oh, but then again, Eversnacks just gets that fastest lap, so that's an extra point, remember?
Yeah, but even with the extra point, I think he would be 26 points down. Unless in the last race he gets the win with the fastest lap. But then they would be tied on points, and I don't know who had...
It goes race wins then.
Yeah, I don't know who has more race wins.
Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? That would be basically like your Formula 1 situation, isn't it, at the end of this year? It could just come down to literally just 1 point to decide this championship. That's obviously if Ocean Chief doesn't score at all. If Ocean Chief, just say, has a DNF, then Eversnacks would have to win the race and get the fastest lap just to tie. So this is very much crucial here. Leslie's going to play a part here because at the moment, Ocean Chief will win the championship if it stays as it is. Right? Yeah, because Ocean Chief needs to be P3 or lower. And Eversnacks needs to get past Tipsy Bob as well, which he's working on. He's shaved that 8-second deficit down, but Tipsy Bob is going to be also there to help out. Eversnacks picks up another penalty.
Another warning, yeah. Another penalty, sorry, yeah.
That's a lot of work to do. Now he's got to get past Tipsy Bob and 6 seconds up the road. That's going to be a tall order. That might have just been his championship hopes and dreams slipped through his fingers with that extra penalty now. Because Tipsy Bob is not going to make it easy to get past. Tipsy Bob doing a Perez. Exactly. He's not even in the same team. But he's doing a Perez for Ocean Chief. He is, of course, because he's his mate down the road. And you're always going to help out your mate. In the same nationality, they are Northern Irish. And Leslie now still hasn't been able to find a way past the Chief.
And the fight for 2 points between Boosted and Ed is still going.
Yeah, Boosted's just been tucked up there for some time. Let's go back and check that battle out. He hasn't been managed to find a way around Ed just yet. Weather's still looming the same. I'm not seeing any just clouds yet. I'm still seeing the rain. Like that. Weather forecast. And we're running out of time. 10 minutes, 10 laps or so to go. That's not enough time. Eversnacks, but let's see. I think he's going to want to try to get an overtake done anyway. You never know what's going to happen. Tipsy Bob could make an error.
Getting closer.
He's made an error, but he's ran wide. And that's actually going to allow him under the clutches there of Snelly.
Yeah, that would be terrible for Leslie.
You see Eversnax is pushing like mad. He's actually going to get past Tipsy. Oh, here we go. Is he going to go on the outside? Tipsy Bob. Tipsy Bob, look at that. Putting the car, parking the Ferrari in all the right places. He's going to you're going to have to earn your paycheck if you want to get around me, my friend. Because my man, Ocean Chief up the road, I want him to win the championship. And Eversnax says, look, I'm the quickest driver on the track here at the moment, mate. And I want to win a championship as well. So I'm going to fight tooth and nail. And I think he very much has got the job done. If Tipsy Bob can get a good exit, you can't. And that will be Eversnax up the road. But Eversnax is saving that 6-second penalty, guys. So he's got a bit of work to do. He's got time. As he is the quickest man on the track, he's doing 127s. Everybody else is in the 28s and 29s. So that's not going to be a problem. We've got to shave a couple seconds a lap out. That's a 6-second gap there to get it on Tipsy Bob. Max splits up the road. I don't think it's going to be possible for him to get Max in time.
And now Leslie is losing Ocean Shift just a little bit. Just under the 1 second.
Boosted now finally might be making a run on the McLaren of Ed. Not quite yet. That would be one McLaren going up, one McLaren going down. Good exit speed out of this from Boosted. Oh, Eversnax, and now in 9 seconds penalties. That's pretty much game over for him. Ouch. I think he just wants that Rolex time penalty award, mate. As a consolation prize, why not have that one? He'll end up finishing second in the championship now. 2 battles going on. This one and Snelly. And I'm going to go back to that one because there it is. Snelly, Hankey, and now Leslie. And is that Snelly past Leslie? It is. Not yet, actually. It was close. Sorry, Boosted. You guys, you get your overtakes right. I've only got one camera. It just seems so difficult.
Wesley's leading the race comfortably.
Oh,
Very good drive from Wesley.
Yeah, Dax.
So far.
Great drive. Yeah, because I don't think Ocean Chief's really risking it for the biscuit anymore. Like, really pushing it to win the race because he's got that championship wrapped up. Boosted is trying to push to get past Ed. Here's an opportunity here, but you have to be last and late breakers and brave. And there it is. Ed's gone a little bit too deep. You can see there. That Boosted's got a little bit better entry there. But you're compromising so much of your racing line, aren't you, if you just get it wrong. But where do you got to take a gamble to get an overtake here for sure? You have to just if gap car. Zombie said, is it mathematically over now if Chief finishes here? Yes, it is. Eversnax needs to... what was the case? So Eversnax has got the penalties problem, mate. That is what the issue is here. I'm not going to show you the tyres because it's really irrelevant showing the tyres now. These intermediate tyres can hold out no problems whatsoever if you've done 13 laps on them. But I will show you the penalties. There they are. He's got 9 seconds of penalties. That's the problem, Zombie Kebab. Tipsy Bob will get that place back. And
I believe even if Eversnax gets P6, if Ocean Shift finishes second, he will be 27 points ahead of Eversnax, so he wins the championship.
There you have it.
Even with the fastest lap.
So it's going to come down. I mean, obviously we'll hopefully talk to Eversnax during the interviews later on. So if he's up to it, of course, hopefully he will be. But it came down to that because Eversnax, remember, he did everything right for the qualifying. He qualified on that P1, and it's just that that first corner, wasn't it? That first lap. That's where it all went pearl-shaped.
He spun after 10.3, yep.
And then after that, he's had to work his way back up through there, but just without the DRS, these tricky conditions. I guess if it was a dry race, we might have seen a bit of a different picture there. But in this case around, and plus getting those penalties, because he's pushing like mad. He has the fastest lap. Oh,
Leslie is on the gravel, Leslie. And now Snell Hankey is up into P3 and Wesley as well. It's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo.
What is going wrong just in those last...
And now Ocean Shift leads the race, and that's the championship over for sure if you finish this P1.
Oh no, that's unfortunate for Wesley too. That would have been a nice victory to have here.
I didn't see what happened to Wesley, but Leslie just had too much oversteer. I was on board with him. I didn't see if it was a tap from Snelly behind, but it didn't look like it from my perspective. I think he just got too much oversteer and went into the gravel. But no idea what happened to Wesley though. It looks like they spun at the same time.
Still the rain coming down. I was just hoping that it could dry out enough. You can see the weather forecast. I don't think so. Not with the amount of laps and time that we have left. If there was a safety car or something, perhaps it could. I'll bring that in to play. And that would have been maybe a really good gamble for, say, Eversnacks to take that risk, right? Jump in there, put some dry tires on and just drive like mad and see what happens. You can't put them in now. You're just going to go sliding all over the place. And Boosted still cannot, and I have to say, Ed's done a fantastic job, hasn't he, to keep the Boosted behind him for so long now under all that pressure. And easy to snap a brake, oversteer moments, go off the track, like we've just seen recently with, you know, two of those drivers who have been doing such a good job there this evening, both Wesley and Leslie. Eversnacks has definitely got the time penalty award right now. 12! He's got 9 of those, so 12 seconds total, you can see. Actually, Matt's got it. My apologies, 15. Maybe Eversnacks wants to just go outside the track and get another 3. And that's the battle for the Rolex watch there. 27 to 33. Ocean Chief and Snelly in that nice 1-2. I wonder if Ocean Chief will let Snelly win this race. For a race win for Snelly under his belt. Because he's already got, Ocean Chief's already got the championship. Of course, he probably wants to cross the line and win the championship P1.
Yeah, that would be a great feeling to win the race and the championship at the same time.
Oh, massive oversteer moment from Boosted. It'll cost him a penalty. But somehow, look at that. He didn't lose that much time to Ed. Kept it out of the fence. Wesley getting penalties now. Yep, everybody starting to get. Wesley's picking up. That won't help. I mean, I was going to say it won't. Now, I mean, Eversnacks, without those penalties, mate, look where he would be. He would be Max Splits and Wesley. Wesley's boxing. I don't think he had any damage, but he's elected to get rid of this, and he's out of the race. He's not a happy camper. That's a bit unfortunate to be retiring lap 28 to 33.
Yeah, he must be very frustrated with that spin from the lead.
Yeah, it's still bringing home, but good practice in these conditions. You don't probably practice that often. He's just frustrated, of course, that he lost that win, but get some experience under your belt. But then again, I'm not the one driving the car and feeling gutted about that. And we don't know if there was a collision or something with Snelly, or if he just made an error. Most of the issues that we've been seeing today, obviously, are just drivers having a problem with these conditions, which I imagine are super hard. Will that help Eversnacks? No, right? Because Eversnacks
that will definitely give a point to Matt, which is his first race, so at least he's in the points.
Yeah, because I mean, if Ocean Chief's P1, there's nothing Eversnacks can do, right? Unless he's in what? P2? 3?
No.
Nothing at all.
Unless he's P2. P2.
And the chances of seeing that happening right now are pretty slim. Max Splits has done a great job, I have to say, the Ferrari drive today. He's driven.
Chief actually gets a penalty, so if it ends like this, Snelly wins. And actually, Leslie goes P2 as well, I think.
Yeah, you're right. That will be the case. So has that changed things around? Eversnacks, if Ocean Chief goes P3, here we go. There's a run on Eversnacks and Max Splits, but once again with those penalties, it's not going to be a lot for Eversnacks. So what's going to happen then? Is that if Ocean Chief finishes P3 then, and Eversnacks will finish P6?
Yeah.
Is that still game?
No, I think the difference would be 24 points. So mathematically, Eversnacks could still win the championship.
So this is interesting. Lap 29 to 33. With Leslie there, what do you do? If you were then Snelly Hankey, would you then slow down and get a 3-second gap to Ocean Chief?
I think that would be extremely hard to slow down 3 seconds.
Well, he'd have to let Leslie pass. They'd have to let Leslie win. But if you want to secure the Chief to be winning the championship, you need the Chief to be P2, right? At least.
Yes.
So then
that's right.
he would have to let the Chief part. Obviously, Leslie that would then win the race. Chief would then have to stay that P2, and then Snelly would have to drop back 3 seconds behind him. Eversnacks is down the road 17, but with the 12 seconds on top. Chief would get enough. Wait, not at the moment, no.
Wait.
Remember, the fastest lap is also Leslie now, actually, not Eversnacks, which is interesting. So Eversnacks needs to get a fastest lap here too.
So it would be 25 points. The difference, I think.
Eversnacks is just spun. So that is it. That'll allow Max
let's
back.
see. He doesn't have damage, but let's see. He still has a big gap to Shaka. So
Yeah, that's right. He was going to lose his places back anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. He was still going to finish in his P6 position with those penalties, as long as he can keep Shaka way down the road, which is fine. So I don't know what's going to go on, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of mathematical calculations crunching down there, but that obviously means Ocean Chief, who won't win the race, and look at that, Leslie. Leslie just wants this race win. And at the moment, he's got to get past Nelly if he does want it. Because with Ocean Chief getting the penalty, he's lost the race win. So this P2, this is a battle for P1 essentially right now between Leslie and Snelly. Snelly's going to do everything he can to try to defend, obviously, but the Chief has already lost it. Now there's also another situation too, that Leslie's on 2 warnings and Snelly's on 1. So if Leslie goes a little bit too wide easily in these conditions to do, then Leslie's going to get a 3-second penalty, and that would be it. He won't get that P2 anymore.
Yeah, I believe that if it finishes like this, and Chief P3 and Eversnacks P6, the difference would be 25 points.
Is Leslie up on the inside? Bit of pushing and barging, but hey, you know, you got to go for it. It doesn't have the line yet. It's going to have to settle back in behind side. This is going to be dangerous. You can see a little bit of braking earlier there from Snelly Hankey, but he's going to cover off the racing line. Leslie's going to have to work for it here.
If any of those drivers crash out, then Ocean Chief win the championship. Sorry. Or if any of them gets a penalty.
Snelly's going to try to defend like crazy to keep Leslie behind, and perhaps even keep him behind by 3 seconds, so that Ocean Chief can win. Well, Ocean Chief will get that P2. That's the key.
So if any of Snelly or Leslie get a penalty, Chief wins the championship.
Yeah. So here we go, mate. In your home country is producing a pretty good race in the wet conditions, and we're doing a lot of mathematics as Matty is just getting another one there, but I think he's got it unboosted actually. They're battling it out too for now. I'm going to keep an eye on this battle, but sorry guys. This is where the action's at.
Leslie is on the inside. They both go wide. Do they get a penalty? No, they don't.
Yeah, penultimate lap of the penultimate race of the season at SLR Tier 4. This will be a sign of things to come with the rest of the tiers this evening as well. This week as well too, as we're going to go to Tier 3, Tier 2, and Tier 1 all here at Portugal. So everybody's going to be sleeping on your sofa, mate.
Wait, Leslie is now 2.4 seconds away from Ocean Chief.
Yeah, that's why Snelly's trying to slow him down as much as possible. See? He's deliberately trying to slow him down so he can guarantee
2.8 now, 2.9.
In fact, probably even get him the win here. Snelly wants to get within 3 seconds. That's what they're doing. Oh, but Leslie's taking the opportunity. Yep. That's what happened because Snelly's trying to slow him down a little bit too much, and of course, it's only a matter of time. 5 seconds. Oh no, he's coming back, and there's a spin, and there's Leslie off into the fence. Oh no. They were putting Snelly that, they were doing it, and Snelly's now 3, and so changed down the road, so he's going to allow Chief. I knew they were going to do that, but I really thought that I think they got a bit greedy, didn't they? They really wanted to not allow Leslie to win.
Yeah, I think the FIA will have to have a look at that fight and see if there's any infringement of the rules there, but as it stands, Ocean Chief will win the championship.
Yeah, he will, because there's no way Snelly's not going to back off 3 seconds to not allow Ocean to cross the line and win the championship, that's for sure. But they just wanted, at the end of the day, they just wanted to deny Leslie that race win. Well, here it is, the Chief, mate. He only has a few more corners to go, about half of the lap distance around here, which is a 5.3 mile circuit.
Yeah, and Snelly is actually more than 3 seconds away from him, so...
Yeah, Snelly, there's no way Snelly now is going to keep that. Snelly's going to allow that. He's been the number 2 teammate all season long. He's going to make sure he's going to protect that so that he can let his man, Mr. Chief, cross that line in that P1. Ed's retired from the session actually as a off track. As you'll see his car to the right-hand side there into the fence. But here it is, just a couple more corners to go for the Chief. The trophy's already in his lap. It's just whether he had to hand it back to them or not. Because he's going to be engraving his name on it. And just this corner now for the Chief to do. And this is going to be it. So the SLR Season 7 Tier 4 Championship right now is going to be wrapped up as Ocean Chief crosses a line to win the Portuguese Grand Prix and to win the Drivers' Championship. His teammate there of Snelly. No, he won't. Snelly actually gets it towards the end. But it doesn't matter.
Shift broke at the line to let Snelly have the win, I think.
Ah, teammate. Well, anyway, he's still got it, of course. Sorry, my apologies. And so Snelly wins the race, but Ocean Chief still wins the Drivers' Championship. Over Snacks, they got Max Splits. That's obviously done a solid job there for the Ferrari. Tipsy Bob as well, helping out his teammate, well, his other teammate, Ocean Chief, per se. Good job for the Ferrari, and Eversnack is going to pull into the pit lane for his retirement for the race. Oh, he's still going to finish in that P6. There's the line. Oh, it's just the title slipped through his finger. But, hey, you know, he's still in it to win it. He tried to fight his way back. He got the qualifying position. He got the P1, but it just that first corner wasn't it? The first lap, the third corner. That's been cost him any chance of winning this Drivers' Championship. But it should be looking good to wrap up that P2. I think. Yep. Leslie's probably too far down the road there, but Leslie as well, finishing that P3. What a race, guys, it's been.
Definitely. Even with 11 drivers, it was a very exciting race. The championship was on the line until basically the last lap.
Tipsy Bob, driver of the day. There it is, Snelly Hankey takes the top step of the podium, but that man to the left of him there, Mr. Ocean Chief, is your driver's champion for SLR Tier 4. And the Alfa Romeo's wrapped up that season in style. Well, not just quite yet. One more round to go, but they've done it. They've wrapped up the constructors, and they've got that 1-2 today. And that man that's the Mercedes driver on the right-hand side of the step there, Mr. Leslie, might have a few words to talk to the FIA about that one. The dying stages, but there it is. You'd like to read through our results for us, please?
So Snelly actually winning the race on the last lap, but the man in P2, Ocean Chief, claims the Drivers' Championship. Leslie finishing P3 after that spin. Max Pilz went a bit undercover this race, but it's a really good finish for him, P4. Tipsy Bob as a reserve, I believe, P5, that's also a good finishing position. Eversnacks would be hoping for more. He only finishes P6 and loses the championship. Shaka and Boosted Mess, the two Aston Martins go 7th and 8th, though I think it's a good result for the Aston Martin team, as I believe they're going to be going up some places. Now Matt in his first race in SLR, going P9, very decent result for Matt. Edward and Wesley unfortunately did not finish this race, but Edward still gets a point. And Wesley, after that great drive, he had the spin and he was too frustrated to finish the race.
Yeah, very
still
unfortunate.
A good drive from Wesley.
Absolutely. Let's hear from these drivers in a minute, so don't go anywhere. Interviews coming up. Welcome back, everybody, for the interviews. So we're going to grab some of those drivers. Gerla, who do we have to speak here this evening to?
So right now, as a first interview, we have Eversnacks. So hello, Eversnacks.
Hey there.
A bit of an unfortunate race for you. Good pole position, but tell us what went wrong in the first lap at turn 3.
Well, let's just say I was woefully underprepared. I didn't do any practice in the rain. I was considering doing practice in the rain and then I didn't, which was stupid looking back. But I think there was a light tap from somebody, but I also just didn't know where to place my car. I didn't know what my racing lines are in the wet. So just spun the car. Yeah. I mean, got some wing damage there as well because I touched somebody. So yeah, race was over at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
well-
championship hopes were over too at that point, right? Unfortunately.
Pretty much. I knew that Chief wasn't gonna make any stupid mistakes. He's usually a very smart driver, just keeping it clean. So I was fully prepared for that to be over. But to be honest, I knew that was over a while ago. To be honest, and I don't know. I was just preparing for the end of the season. I probably can't do the next race either. I'll have to see if I can make that possible. But yeah, I just want to say I hope after I spun on that last fastest lap attempt and got some more damage, everybody's finally realized that I don't care too much about the championship. I was just trying to have some fun there, which I did. It was for quite a while on the inters. It was fun to chase down. I think Shaka, Max Biltz. I was chasing down a few drivers. That was fun.
Excellent. Fun's what it's all about. So, yeah. And it would be sad if you can't make the next race, of course, the finale. But you still got secured, I believe, the P2 in the championship. Well, maybe, obviously, going to be depending on that last race. But as you said, you're not too worried about the championship too much. But you certainly are the man to beat. And qualified on P1 as well, too, in dry conditions. So I'd imagine how good you would have been around here in the dry conditions for the race. But we didn't even see any of those tyres this evening.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Exactly. So good on you. You can hang around, obviously, but we're going to switch over to we got a few people to obviously interview as well.
Right, thank you guys.
So, yeah, congratulations, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you again, of course.
Oh, and thanks Gola for jumping in, by the way.
No worries.
Really? Girl, he did.
It's
Exactly.
always a pleasure.
Yeah, he's probably glad because he wanted to be out driving in these conditions today, but as a
Yeah,
reserve.
yeah, for
Leslie,
sure.
mate, good to see you back. And
Yeah,
finishing in the P3 position. Yeah, what a race, mate. And yeah, towards the end, well, how was that?
yeah. What can I say? Like that was some battling, and yeah, Chief got 3 penalties. I had the lead like from like the start, and yeah, it was a 2.5 second gap. It was going good, and then I did my thing. I spun and it's hard to drive in the wet. I really full wet even like it's really hard. So I spun and I got back to P5 or something. And Jeff said from the beginning that the inters were even with the wet. So yeah, I thought I can now I spun. I can pit and look what they can do. And I earned them twice down because I spun again. Yeah, then the thing with Schneller happened again.
Did you think that they were gonna do that to obviously try to get the Chief the win, to have Chief could have that 3 second gap? And it looked to me like Snelly was definitely like trying to slow you down to cover that buffer off.
I think if I were Chief, I would have given the win to Sneller. But,
he did actually in the end. He did eventually, but not. They were trying to cover you off.
I think Chief won, right? Chief won, right?
No, Snelly got it towards across the line. Last minute.
I think we got the message from Chief.
Oh.
We got his radio message, and then for some reason Snelly still won it.
Ah, interesting. Well, we'll talk to them
was
about
on
that in a second.
penalties, I think.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake.
But you were quick out there today, mate, Leslie, because you got the fastest lap, and obviously, after a week off, you weren't here last week, and you certainly were back, and I kind of thought you'd be throwing a spanner in the mix of the championship, which you were until obviously Eversnacks got picked up a few more penalties, and that was his championship dream. Once again, you heard from him; he wasn't too bothered.
Yeah, like Henky didn't have to defend Chief that much. Like Chief was already champion, so give me that stupid win then, okay? Like, come on.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was actually saying a little bit earlier. I thought if I was the engineer, I'd be like, you know, let you through, right, to win the race, and then Snelly, Ocean Chief gets that P2. And well, anyway, we'll talk to them about that, mate. But it's about you at the moment. We're interviewing. Are you going to be here for the next race?
Yes. Like,
excellent.
We got to finish the season in style, right? And
yeah. Well, you want
like,
to finish it with a race win, mate, because you're very capable of them.
Yeah, today is. I don't say that a lot, and I would never say that about myself. But it's like I really had the pace. I think I was kind of the fastest at the front on the track, so that's really hurting if you don't get it then. But congrats to Chief. He is deserved champion of TF4 this year. It was really great battles, like, and really great teamwork they did. Like, it's good for Alpha to have the double, and Chief, well deserved.
Excellent. And if you were starting the season a little earlier, so I'm looking out for you next season. If you are obviously going to be racing, that would be good to see you bring it into them from the start of the season. You'd certainly we could be talking to you about wrapping up the championship right now if you had obviously a few more race starts under your belt.
We don't have dreams, we have goals. We have goals, right? So we gotta work to it. So,
all right, Les. Thank you.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for this, and maybe till next week. So.
Okay, excellent. Once again, you're welcome just to hang out and listen to the rest of the other guys in the interviews we're going to do if you want to. But definitely okay.
I'm gonna eat something.
I'll go get some food, mate. Yep. All right. Gurla,
have a great night, guys.
Gurla, yep. Thank you. I just don't know if Gurla had any questions for you. Sorry, before I let you go. Does he?
No, nothing else to ask.
All right. Thanks, Les. Hope to see you next week,
thanks,
mate.
Boys.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so let's get. We got a few people to go through here, so we'll get. We'll get the next man in there. Max Blitz. Yeah. Why don't we just bring them all in there, or we'll just talk to one at a time? Well, those are reserved. Okay. Hey, Max. G'day, mate.
Hello.
Congratulations on that P4 position there, and the Ferrari after you started P7 and what were awesome conditions per se. No.
No. Yeah, it was a bit difficult, I have to say. Yeah, don't really know what to say about the race. Just that on the weight, I felt way better than on the intermediate. I was feeling like if I do change my tires, it will get worse. But seeing with laps going on and Sneller and Chief and Weasley setting fastest lap, I was like, yeah, I have to go to pit, otherwise I'm just gonna get doomed anyway. And I was 1 to 2 seconds off the pace of the leaders, but I just thought, let's just finish the race, even if it's still really long. And let's see, maybe if we're gonna do a mistake, we're gonna fight in the front. And well, at the end of the day, I finished P4. So I think that's really, really good point coming to as of today. Especially as I couldn't participate in last race due to unforeseen circumstances 5 minutes before the race, and I was really mad about missing Imola. So plus I felt like I had still maybe a chance to overtake Sneller in the championship for P4 in the championships. So I think now it's it's well over, but no, it was a cool race.
And on top of it, mate, you you had it seemed to me like you had a bit of a lonely race because you were just consistently there, just driving around, did not spinning and stuff like that too, which was very, very important.
Yeah, I mean, I did the spinning in the qualifying for good measure. So like, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it in the quali, so like I won't do it in the race.
Yeah, get that out of the way.
So yeah, I think I think it's mostly congratulations to Chief for the championship as of tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I'll be next year if I even race, but I mean, way too early to say. There's still last race in Jeddah, and I may call the steer, but I still haven't even tested Jeddah in the game.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. Well, that'd be fun. Why
As-
not? Give-
Yeah, it looks really fun. Like on TV, on real TV, it looks bad. But looking at people playing it on the game, I'm like, wow, that looks really, really cool. So I don't know. It just don't know. Just didn't wanted to test just because I done the time and I wanted to concentrate on each race one after another and not yet look at Jeddah.
Yeah. Well, mate, you've been a great support all season long, and hopefully, yep, we're going to see you there at Jeddah to wrap up the season. Mr. Consistency, I'm calling you from now on, Mr. Max Blitz.
Yeah,
You are
thanks.
Mr.
Oh,
Consistent.
if you call me that, I will be. I'm honored if you call me that.
Yeah, you are, because you're just always there. I mean, now you're not wrapping race wins up all the time, stuff like that, but hey, you're consistently getting sometimes podiums, P4s, P5s, which goes to show that, you know, that's something that you're going to be you're most likely to be improving on, because, you know, finishing races is crucial and hard to do in an overall season, which is what you consecutively do. I've got the highlights playing at the moment too. I just discovered a new thing in Streamlabs desk. You can actually change scenes live. Anyway, I didn't know that. But there's the highlights coming up, so while people are listening to the interviews, you've got something to look at, and Eversnack's a spin, so I'm sure they seem to be looking up. Thank you very much, Max Blitz. Good on you, mate.
Thank you.
See you next race. Yep.
Yeah.
So
See you. Bye.
let's bring let's drag in the crew, and the crew being the lads of the Ocean Chief, of course. Snelly, yeah, you want to drag them all in? Ocean Chief there, Snelly. Perhaps. Well, I thought where's Tipsy Bob in here? Tipsy Bob's usually a part of that crew, but anyway. Well, what can we say? Congratulations, Mr. Ocean Chief. You are the drivers' champion of Tier 4. How does it feel?
It feels great. It feels great. It feels like a weight lifted off my chest. I've just been stressing so much. I'm just glad it's over now. I'm glad I won, obviously, but yeah, it was just so much stress. Like, yeah, I don't know how the actual guys in F1, like Hamilton and Verstappen, could deal with that so much stress. And
Well, it's easy,
like,
mate. We'll put 20 million in your back pocket.
that would help a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not getting paid
Yeah.
anything, but yeah, I mean, I just want to say a few words. I mean, I want to say thank you to Snell. He basically, was instrumental in helping me win this championship. I only won 2 races this season, so really it was consistency. It wasn't pace won it for me, and also Eversnack's missing 4 races. But yeah, I mean, it's been a team effort. Bob as well, he's been in VC, he's been very supportive. Icewind, he's been our crew chief. We've had a few crew chiefs. I think we had Terra and Candido the first part of the season. Yeah, so and everybody else, just in chat and stuff. I appreciate all the comments, and I never thought I would see the day where I'd be fighting for a championship, let alone win one. And I am a bit emotional right now, because like I've been doing league racing for a while, and I never even thought I would win a race ever, not a league race. I was just happy to show up and do a race. I was always one of the slower guys, so to be in this position right now, it just feels amazing. And yeah, it's Snell again. I can't say enough how much he helped me, and I couldn't have done it without him. So we got the constructors, the driver championship. We finished 1-2 today, and Snell gets the win today. So, I mean,
Yeah.
what more could you ask for?
You got everything. Yeah, we'll come back to you at the moment, mate, because I know you're emotional. Of course, why not? Your adrenaline's pumping through your veins. You put the effort in. So, speaking of your teammate, your Perez today, well, Perez all season, along Snelly Hankey, mate. Good to see you. Yeah. Congratulations on your constructors, and obviously congratulations on bringing your man to get that top step.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, so how you'll wrap up your race, and not season, of course.
Yeah.
We have one more, but the race.
Well, it was really chaotic in the beginning. I got a spun. I spun somewhere. And then it was just head down and trying to get some pace. Then, well, actually, I can't remember what all happened, but at the end, I suddenly, just in front of me, Leslie, he slipped away, and I thought like, okay, I take this chance. But he came back really quickly. In the meantime, we were thinking like, okay, let's just bring this car home. But Leslie was coming back with a lot of pace, and I thought like, yeah, I just stay here as a buffer. And but yeah, at the end, I was really more looking my mirror and watching the attacks of Leslie and try to defend it just to keep him away from Chief. And yeah, it's really sad that I apparently touched him at the end. I was just really happy with the fight we were having, and I was really thinking like, yeah, we give a lot space to each other. We break in time, and then such a small touch happens, and Leslie goes off, and well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I do not like to win a fight like that. Like then I even prefer to lose the fight than see something like that happening in the mirror, because I always feel guilty in those moments. It's just not fun when it happens to you. And but it was not intentional in any way. And
Yeah.
yeah, but at the end,
Admirable of
it
you.
was
It's
all
fine.
good.
I think Leslie's pretty okay with it after a chat before. You know, I mean, it's it was a crazy race anyway, and mistakes were made. He made a couple of mistakes. He said before that anyway. So it's, you know, you've got to be there. But yeah, it was good battling towards the end. Certainly very entertaining. The highlights are up there. You'll probably even see that soon. We're on 28 of 33, but it was because that was the last lap.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've done a fantastic job, obviously, once again, for your allowing your teammate, and your pace is really improving. So perhaps in the new season, if you guys are back in the same team, you may very well be the number one driver in the team. And this time,
That
Ocean
would be
Chief
nice.
might have to do all the Perez support for you. Who knows?
Yeah. But mostly I'm quite a slow starter. So halfway the championship, and then I start to get my pace. It's strange, but
It's true. You're right, but
maybe
your races have been
age.
finishing a lot better now. I've noticed, and your qualifying performance has always been there. A great qualifying performance. It's just, you know, the race results have been sometimes slipping through your fingers, but you've been improving, I think, over and over again. And today you won the race, essentially. I mean, as far as what I see on the results that we got, says that you won. So,
Yeah, I was really surprised, but just Chief was holding on the
Yeah.
line, and and I didn't even knew it, and just 5 minutes later I saw like, what? Did I win?
I thought, yeah. Did you allow that, Chief? Because I was saying this to Gerler in the thing. I said, you know, if I was Chief, I would, because you've got to win the constraint, you know, the drivers. I would let Snelly take this victory for the you know, all the work he's done to support you. Was that what you did, or was it just
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%. I looked up at the delta. I was coming out of that last curve, you know, the downhill part, and I think it was like 3.6 or so, and I just went, you know what, Snell, he deserves a win. Like, he would have won. Like, if that had been a race and we weren't teammates, he definitely would have passed me. Like, he was holding back, so I think it was only fair. And I know he needs the points for the championship himself, to get himself up a wee bit. So yeah, I mean, it was the least I could do, just to say thank you to Schnell. Yeah, and he didn't realize
you,
until
man.
like about 10 minutes after the race. So he was like, "Oh, I won." Huh?
They caught us off guard a little bit with that one too across the line because we expected. But yeah, that was good team. Good. That goes to show you sportsmanship within team. And I've seen that's probably the best team sportsmanship that I've seen in all the broadcasting that I do in the leagues. And trust me, you guys know I do a few.
Nice.
And I've never seen two teammates work together so well during a season at all
Nice.
in all the leagues. So yeah, that's hats off to you there. That's big seal of approval on that one as well.
Yeah, there's more to come of that. Like I would say, next season will be tier 3, and I'm going to be the sport driver for sure because I owe Chanel about a lot of points. So I'll definitely be happy, and I'll be happy not to have the stress of the championship hanging over me because I think I said it about it last week or the week before about, you know, Lord of the Rings, you know, the Schmeagol and my precious. You know, it's like it is like that. You know, you might say, like, I could have said. I did say to a few people, I was like, I don't care about the title, you know, but like really you do care about the title, you know, and it means a lot to me. I've been racing from 2018, started off in 2S, and I'll not bore you with all the details, but yeah, 7 seasons later, I never ever thought I would win a race. I think last season was when I started winning races. I won 2 last season, and then this season 2 again. And yeah, the championship, you know, and it's been great. It really has. Unfortunately, though, it looks like tier 4. We're to see in between seasons. We've got Jeddah coming up, the final race. we can just enjoy that one as a race and not have all the stresses involved there and just have some fun. But yeah, in the meantime, we're going to have a look at the tiers and just see, yeah, because we need to boost the numbers really, and having 10, 11 drivers on track is not something I'm proud of as a league admin. But yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys as well. I mean, you've commentated most of the races this season, Bagels, and Gerla for stepping in today. I look forward to watching that one back. But I just want to say, yeah, I know it's been a bit of an issue, you know, the lack of drivers, but it is something we'll be focusing on going forward. So hopefully we'll hear more Bagels next season.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out the schedule, of course. A quick question, because I do have to wrap up and go and do another one, actually, in about 5 minutes. So, just real quick, yeah, just so you guys knew it was a wet setup. Are you, Ocean Chief, I believe you're not using a racing line or any assists either, right? As well, I know Tipsy Bob's not. Snelly?
Yeah, I've no assists. I'm in cockpit view.
Wow, and full wet weather race.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough.
I would not recommend it. I do not recommend that to anyone. Wesley as well. Apparently he's running the cockpit view. So shout out to the cockpit crew. But I don't recommend it to anybody. It's just I did a lot of iRacing. I just it just feels more immersive for me. So people say TCAM is faster, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's true. It depends on your driver's perspective, but yeah, if you want to be as realistic as possible, obviously you go on the cockpit view. Real quick, you obviously have any questions for the chief, Gerla? Because I've been cutting in there a little bit. We've also got Tipsy Bob. Have a quick chat too.
Just want to say congratulations on the championship. I'm glad I stepped in to help. It was a very very fun race. That I don't know if you were aware of the maths and the points, but it was basically the championship was up for grabs until Snelly had that collision with Leslie. So it was very exciting for us, and
Gerla was crunching numbers. Sorry to cut you off there. He was doing all the math from the behind the scenes, and I thank you for that, because we were trying to work it out ourselves. But yeah, go ahead, Gerla.
And yeah, that's it. Just want to say congratulations for the championship, Chief.
Yeah,
you deserved it.
Excellent. Yeah, well, there you are, Chief, mate. Yep, that's one on your trophy shelf. We knew you had the trophy in the car the whole time, whether you had to hand it back to the FIA or whether you get to take it home. This time you're taking it home, nursing that baby in the car since lap one.
It's going to be a lonely trophy cabinet, but yeah.
It's the start of many trophies, perhaps. So do you want to keep that? You want to keep that lonely trophy? Get some company. Well, just get some race wins and win championships under your belt. So yeah, I'll let you guys just obviously hang around real quick, because Tipsy Bob, of course, Tipsy Bob. We like Tipsy Bob in here. And Tipsy Bob did finish the race in P5, mate. Real quick for you. How was that?
Yeah, I'll not keep you back, Big. I know you've got another one up and running, so I'll make this short. Yeah, I just want to publicly congratulate Chief as well. I've done it privately, but and because he was talking about getting emotional, I think that's to be understandable. If anyone really in the league knows how much this meant to Chief, it was me. I think it was me, because I remember whenever I went down to Chief's house a couple of races ago to sort out his PC, I could just see it in him that he was so, it was just on his mind constantly. And I haven't been allowed to race a lot of races most of the season, but I've dropped the ball a lot, so they let me in, and I was trying to just be there to help them out as best I could within reason, and kind of just trying to keep him calm. Snella and Icewind have been fantastic support for Chief, and I thought, look, if I jump on board with him and try to help him out as best I can, I know what he's going through, because Flex, I won Nana Tier. I was being pushed by Granad Goran last year, so I know the mental stress of it, and so I was kind of there just to keep him, try as best I could keep him focused. But Ike's and Stella have been fantastic with him. And just a quick throwback, really, before you have to go. Me and Chief started kind of Formula One racing. I think it was F1 2013. I think it was co-op career, and we were doing the co-op career. And then I think I was that desperate to get Chief to do another co-op career, and then his life got in the way and he couldn't. So then I joined 2S, got Chief on board, spent a season there. Chief started SLR. And here we are, all these seasons later. Chief has finally done it, and I can understand it. So I just want to fully commend him. Thanks to you, Biggs, for doing all the commentating. It's been a pleasure jumping in whenever I could to help you out, man. And yeah, let's look forward to next season. Hopefully we can get more guys to join. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Tipsy Bob, thank you very much. Yeah, you pretty much said everything, and that's very great to have that from the heart there of feeling the emotions of drivers when they put so much effort into, of course. And you know, you see it when the results are there on track, and also those drivers out there, they put those efforts in as well too. That don't unfortunately get the trophy to take home with them, but they still are there and committing, and that's what the SLR family provides.
Quickly, Biggs? Yep. Just really quickly, because just on that, I know a lot of people in general life, and even I've had it in my family, I think even Chief's had it as well, that they kind of like, you know, we're grown ass men here. I'm 37 next week, Chief's in his 40s, and it's like, why do you play those games and all? It's like, it's a hobby of ours, it's what we enjoy. Yes, we're not earning for money, there's no glory in it, but there's no denying that people do put the effort in, especially these top guys in tier 1, and you Biggs as well, for the stuff that you pump out every week in commentating. Everyone here puts the effort in to do the best that they can, and I think when you are rewarded with success and victory, it just tastes even sweeter. Other people might not understand it, but I think everyone in our community does, so that's the main thing.
Excellent. Couldn't have spoken any better. Girl, we're gonna wrap it up. So guys, yeah, I'd have to wrap it up. Literally, I have 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, we
for
can.
another one. Yeah. So been a pleasure, Ocean Chief. Absolutely, congratulations, Gula. Do you want to say anything, mate, for stepping in? You've been fantastic commentating me this evening. You want to wrap it up? Last words?
Yep, just to wrap it up, it was a fantastic race. Still one more to go in the championship. The championship is obviously over, but yeah, I liked to commentate very much. Very interesting race. I hope the people that are seeing have liked the stream. It really helps a lot, and I think that's it from us today. I hope to see you next week. I don't know if I will be here, or if I believe it's Pineapple that commentates.
Well,
usually.
you go find out. Tune in. All right, that's it. Take care. Stay safe, and enjoy tier 2 and the rest for tomorrow and so on. Good night, everybody. Bye bye.